Hey, hello, and good day to everyone that is currently tuning in here at Phoenix Holdings. Once again, this is your host CH, and we're going to be having yet another exciting AMA, this time with Rocket Global. And from the Rocket Global team, we got Middle East Beast and Luke Skywalker from their team. So, how are you guys doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Fantastic. Thanks for having us today.
Also doing great as well. Just a bit tired. Just went out and got back. It's a good time and good weather. So, yeah, nice time to walk and stuff. And yeah, so the two of them is going to be representing Rocket Global. And I guess to start off, you can get on by like introducing yourself to us. Tell us a bit of background about yourself, maybe about your crypto ventures as well.
Yeah. My name is Middle East Beast. That's just a nickname that's it's stuck with me since I was younger. I am Iranian, so both my parents came from Iran. I'm a first generation American. So that's always just been my nickname. My actual name is Payam, though. Both me and Luke are co-founders of Rocket Global. We have a large team of over 30 people, but we are both doxed. On the website, you guys can see that as well. But my actual name is Payam. I'll tell you a little bit about myself and how I met Luke, and then I'll let Luke introduce himself afterwards. Uh, so uh, I grew up in southern United States. Kind of just a normal, boring life. I was always a little bit curious about biology and just about how the body works. Kind of a hypochondriac. So I just naturally started learning about biology, and I actually ended up getting a Bachelor of Science in biology, and then I went on to pharmacy school because I was always interested in how medicine works and how it works within the body, and all of that. So I am in no way related to technology or crypto. So I have a doctorate in pharmacy, and currently I'm a practicing pharmacist right now. Probably 3 years ago ish, 2 or 3 years ago, I started getting involved in crypto, like probably most of you. When you first started reading about crypto or learning about it, you just heard Bitcoin or digital money and you didn't really know what it was or if it could be feasible in any kind of way. But as you learn, you realize like what blockchain is, you realize utility and DeFi and NFTs and digital ownership and how that's tied to blockchain technology and kind of where you can go from that. And I just kind of got deeper and deeper into it through the course of several years. I met lots of different people from all kinds of backgrounds. That's kind of the cool thing about the crypto space is it's its own place, but people come here from everywhere. All walks of life come here. So met all kinds of people, business, marketing, programmers, devs. One of those people I met was Luke in I don't even remember, some random project I met him. We started by just talking about the project, and then I got to know him personally, and we are friends now. We started talking about like what we wish we could see in a project, and uh, through some of his contacts and some of mine, we thought I think we have something we can work with as a baseline to kind of make this vision come true. And so we kind of just pulled our resources together and said, let's do this. And so that's kind of how Rocket Global was birthed as a thought. And then we're just taking it from there. So I'll let him introduce himself and then I'll go uh, into the project however you'd like me to. But Luke, you want to tell him a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you, Payam. I am first generation American. My mom's from Mexico and my dad is from England. I grew up in Venice Beach, California, and I went to school at the University of Arizona where I studied mining engineering and geology. I just finished my MBA at the University of Redlands. Most of my career has been geared towards engineering and economic design, both short and long term planning. I got into projects, project management, production management, area operations management, and now technical sales. So I've managed multi-million dollar business lines and was directly responsible for the P&L. And now I'm responsible for the revenue aspects of those lines. So I'd like to translate my business experience and management and development skills to the cryptocurrency space to drive innovation. I got into crypto in 2017 while I was at college, and a bunch of my buddies were making what I thought was monopoly money at the time. There was a big hype around Bitcoin and Ethereum and all of these tokens. And as soon as I got in, I fell in love with it. Most of my time um, in my free time is spent researching projects and looking at development, etc. So I absolutely love this space. Big in innovation and everything blockchain. And through networking and contacts, Payam and I have been building a all-in-one encompassing ecosystem that isn't bound by borders. So we're excited to talk with you about that today.
Also definitely excited, and wow, I mean, the firepower that you got based on your experience and background, I mean, outside crypto, it's amazing. And it's Middle East Beast, your nickname, it sounds like a rap name. Is that some sort of a rap name as a nickname, or how actual people
uh,
call you?
I don't know. When I was young, I made as a joke. It was all. I mean, where I was from, there wasn't a lot of. It was basically just a lot of white people. There wasn't anybody really other than white people. So, and I was always kind of a a class clown joke. So I always made names like based on my ethnicity, and nobody even knew what the word Iran meant where I was from. So I just said Persian because that's kind of the equivalent. So I started out with Persian Stud 75, kind of grew out of that, and then went to Middle East Beast. Just sounds good. Yeah, most people say either a rapper or like a wrestler or something, like a UFC
Yeah,
fighter.
I wish my nickname was as cool as that when I was
Hey,
younger.
CH is pretty cool, man.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like my initials, but yeah, that's pretty much my nickname. And also, Luke Skywalker, you're definitely a Star Wars fan based on the name itself. You've did some mining. I mean, crypto has a lot of mining involved, but that is definitely different from the kind of mining involved in crypto. So it's it's kind of cool how you got into the crypto business, because you're far, as you mentioned, it's quite far off in the crypto space. Like how people got into the crypto space, you know, all walks of life are in here. It doesn't matter what your profession is. If you wanted to make money, take some risks and all, yeah, you're gonna be in this space.
Yeah,
And
right.
another, oh, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was
so
just gonna
I
say.
I keep rambling about. Sorry about that, but yeah. Anyway, cool guys, and I guess it's just about time for us to jump in directly in your project, because I also like the name Rocket Global, kind of somehow related to Star Wars in the most subtle way possible. So I guess that's why Luke Skywalker got his name from. But yeah, I'll let you guys do the intro. Can you please tell us on what Rocket Global is all about?
Yeah, so I'll generally describe kind of the vision of Rocket Global, and then we can kind of dive into the individual aspects as you'd like, or as any of your listeners would like. That seems to be the easiest way
Sure.
to do it because it's a lot.
Yeah,
So was that work if I just give like a brief
Yeah,
rundown of it?
normally how we do things here is like, you discuss the project, and, if I get to think about any questions, I'll ask it. And then right after that, we'll let the community ask the questions. So yeah, you can
Okay,
just go ahead and
perfect.
start off.
Yeah. So Rocket Global, the way we kind of labeled it, Luke kind of alluded to it earlier. So the vision was to have an exchange platform, but on top of that exchange platform, you have an entire ecosystem where the individual who would have been using your exchange just simply for spot trading or futures trading would then be doing all of their DeFi needs, or at least a majority of them, on your exchange. So combining that vision of having an all-in-one environment that's easy to use and optimized for the user, and then integrating a native token within that system that kind of plays on one another. So the native token, which will be Rocket Global Coin, will support the Rocket Global ecosystem, and then vice versa. As the community interacts with Rocket Global, the platform, it will support the token, and it's basically price appreciation. As far as how is Rocket Global going to be an all-encompassing platform, there are major implementations we're doing as our main roadmap. These will expand in the future. But so obviously the base layer, Rocket Global Exchange, it's a centralized exchange. So the reason we're hybrid is because we're combining decentralized aspects with the typical centralized exchange. So on top of the centralized exchange, we're going to have DeFi staking, both in the future from our public launch, normal like traditional DeFi staking that you're used to, like holding a token and then you're getting some rewards passively from that. Right from launch, we'll have DeFi staking of our native token on top of that. Within that system, people who are holding the native token will get exchange rate discounts on top of the normal rate that they would be normally charged for spot trading. We're going to incorporate a DEX aggregator directly onto our platform so that, again, we all know certain pairs are not, we know we go to Uniswap, we go to PancakeSwap. Um, we're used to going to all these places for other tokens. So we don't want people to have to go there. And if we can optimize that or even get even a tiny cut off those trades for having an aggregator and basically bringing those users to those dexes that we're connecting to, we're going to implement that straight on our platform. And just to make it clear, the centralized exchange portion of our platform is live right now. So it functions currently. We're 100% partnered with Binance Liquidity. So the base layer of our platform is there and is functioning. I just want to make that clear. The whole exchange as a whole is not just being worked on in the background or in the starting phases. The exchange itself is functioning. We're just adding these things on top of it. On top of the DEX aggregator, we're going to transition to where our token holders will also have DAO rights. So it'll kind of be like a hybrid DAO of sorts, where as we make changes to things we already have on the exchange, or if we're adding use cases on top of our kind of platform, we're going to take community input because we want this to be a community driven thing, not just a random exchange you go to, but we want you to like being in the exchange and want to support the exchange and do the things you do, whether it's CeFi or DeFi. You do it all in there. So we'll move to a DAO model shortly after launch, and then on top of that, we're going to have an NFT marketplace. That's a really big aspect of driving the token value and driving kind of the difference maker of what our platform will offer. It's not just going to be a traditional NFT marketplace like what you typically hear from people describing, where they're essentially just copying the user interface of OpenSea or something, and then just trying to get people to take their stuff up OpenSea and sell it on their platform so they can make the fee. That is a marketplace, and ours will be a marketplace, and we'll use those fees to our advantage for Rocket Global coin holders. But we want it to be way more than that. Actually, in our tokenomics, we have part of our token dispersion to go towards an NFT creator fund where we're gonna actually develop the space where we're actually going to develop our own blockchain so that whenever we have the NFT marketplace, it'll be interoperable with other chains and you can mint on there, not just trade. So you can pull other NFTs from other places that you would typically have them or store them and trade them on our platform. But on top of that, you'll be able to mint your own NFT. And within, again, incorporating in all of these things that we're talking about is going to be the Rocket Global token. So the tokenomics of that is going to be implemented to burn and support the token price. That's kind of the general rundown of those things.
Yeah, and first of all, it's really amazing that you have an actual functioning website, the
Yeah.
app website of it, because I see personally a lot of projects like doing launches with websites barely functioning, like this is to be developed or something like that. But I went on your website, I was clicking all the functions, and yeah, you're definitely doing the work now. You can definitely see all the developments, and this is prior to launch.
Right. I think it's important to add that Payam and I and our fully capable team have been in development since July of last year. So we specifically wanted to build out utilities and functions so that they're working, um, and launch only when we have the utilities. So we have more utilities that we're going to be developing, but it is important to note that we do have our exchange that is live before we're launching our native token.
Yeah, and okay. First of all, I really like the concept of this, especially if I'm correct. You're gonna be combining the decentralized and centralized exchanges into one.
Essentially, we
Hmm.
it's hard. I mean, it's hard to describe it because it's such a kind of like ambiguous thing. But yes, you're taking decentralized aspects and basically decentralized activities that people are already partaking in, and bringing them into our ecosystem or wrapping them in Rocket Global, if you want to think of it that way. And then that way, when somebody enters into the door of the house that is Rocket Global, they can do all of the things that they would typically do. They don't have to go somewhere else. So they have the reliability, and there's less steps. And so there's less chance of doing something wrong or clicking something wrong. I know all of us have accidentally sent the wrong amount or the wrong wallet address or something, just because there's so many different steps in crypto. So we're trying to make all of the things of DeFi and the kind of decentralized nature still there, but make it as easy and as optimized as we can for the user.
Well, I mean, personally, for me, the best aspect of centralized exchanges compared to decentralized ones is security and safety. I mean, it's not 100% safe that you're not going to lose your money in centralized exchanges, but the decentralized space leaves a lot of room to be robbed, to be scammed. So, in terms of security measures, what do you have in store for like everyone that's going to be using your platform?
Yeah, so I'm sure well, some of your listeners may know, but so since we're partnered with Binance, currently all of our liquidity is going through them. So basically, all of their cloud security involved in transferring of funds from cold to hot wallets. You know how they move fund and they have them secured on the cloud that way. We're using the same security. So as we develop our own liquidity, so right now we're pooling liquidity to Binance and we're essentially sharing liquidity. But as we grow and our users grow, if we have, well, when we get enough volume, I should say, we'll create our own liquidity pools, and we will be using similar kind of, I don't know if you know, like Amazon Web Services, how people use their servers for all their functions. Nobody is saying, well, how do you know Amazon Web Services servers are safe? But like it's kind of, there are certain industry standards for certain things, and they're audited, and so we will be using things like that. Currently, we're using the same one that Binance is because we're sharing their liquidity. But as we grow, we will be using similar type of security measures.
Okay, that's reassuring to know that you're going to be using the same security measures as they are similar to that. And if I also understand correctly, you'll be able to add only from the Binance Smart Chain, or is it from other networks as well?
So currently, upon launch, or I guess you could say currently, because right now it's live, but we only have access to all the trading pairs that are on Binance on our centralized exchange. But when we put our aggregator there, we're going to be multi chain. If you're, I didn't know if you're referring to centralized or if you're talking about whenever we do the decentralized aspect.
Yeah, more in the decentralized aspect of things.
Oh yeah, we will definitely. So it will have bridging. It'll be a bridged aggregator. It won't just be like a, it won't just be aggregating one chain.
Would be really convenient if you're able to.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah. No, we want, again, like I said, we don't want, I don't, what's the point of swapping a token and then having to still send it somewhere and then sell it, for USDT or USDC and then sending it to, another platform so that you can get it on another exchange and sending it to back to your wallet and then using Uniswap instead of Pancake Swap. We want it to be as convenient as possible. So yeah, the aggregator will for sure be uh multi-chain.
Exactly. I mean, it's simple and definitely cheaper if you're using the more expensive networks like Ethereum and stuff. So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's good to just have everything in just one place. No need to switch over wallets. And yeah, I think this is definitely an amazing aspect in this project. And
Yeah.
okay, you
Something
go
I
first.
just I'm sorry, that's something I forgot to mention, and
Sure.
Forgive me. We've been hammering out these AMAs like crazy. So I don't say something because I feel like I said it, but then I realize no, that was an hour ago or that was yesterday. Or, you start to forget who you're talking to and what you're saying.
Yeah,
But
you've been really busy, man, but it's
yeah.
okay, we get
Uh, Something I left out that's actually a really integral part of our growth and development is another aspect that is live, but we're working on making it optimized, and it's called Rocket Pay. So it's a merchant payment gateway. It's kind of merchant geared. So essentially, we're trying to provide a service for merchants that want to access cryptocurrency holders as form of payment, but they don't know how. So I'm sure many businesses know that people hold cryptocurrency, but they have no idea how to engage with them or don't know, like from a regulation standpoint, or how they would go about it safely. So Rocket Pay is something, like I said, that's functional, but we're optimizing it and trying to figure out what territories can we use it, how can we use it in a way that's both functional for people and the merchants, and legally speaking, depending on what areas and what businesses. But essentially, it would be a conversion point where you know how you go to a website and you check out and you say credit card information, or do you want to pay with PayPal or Apple Pay? Basically, there will be a slot there that will say Rocket Pay. And so essentially, when you click that, you can click that, choose which cryptocurrency, connect your wallet, choose which cryptocurrency you want. It'll automatically convert it to the fiat that you're using on that website. And then basically, the merchant for paying for that service will receive fiat. They have no idea what happened on the back end for it to turn to fiat, but they got fiat, and it was because they had access to the cryptocurrency space. So that's a service that is live but is being optimized, and that's a service that we're going to make uh, kind of the most efficient way for merchants to use it is to purchase our token so that it can be burned. So essentially, we're going to use the fees from that service being provided, any profit from it, to then go to the Rocket Global Coin ecosystem.
I mean, yeah, you've definitely been working with this for a long time, like more than a year or almost a year, if I'm not mistaken. You got all the utilities developed. I mean, it's just a matter of like adding the decentralized concept of it before. I think that's the only thing that's missing.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, we want that to be nice and clean. I mean, you can go.
Hmm.
There's aggregate. I mean, we all know here there's aggregators everywhere. Some of them are better, some of them are worse, some of them fail more often than others, some of them require more fees, and decentralized exchanges are everywhere, and NFT, platforms are everywhere. But the question is there anywhere where it's easily you can do all of the things you want easily and in a convenient manner? And we think that we can provide that space. And I think that having that space is extremely undervalued in the sense that just because things exist independently doesn't mean that they can't be improved upon and can't be brought together in like a very clean, seamless way.
Yeah, and I think you have a high potential of gaining more markets here because, centralized exchange users. I think most of the people who invest in cryptocurrency are in the centralized exchange part of things. But, knowing that, Rocket Global has a chance to tap in both markets, like centralized and decentralized markets, just, gives you a high potential and tapping into more people. So yeah, that's also an advantage that you got so far. Okay, I guess one question I can ask before we go on through some community questions is, okay, I think most of the centralized exchanges issues dive deep, often goes into the legal side of things and the locations and area and, just the legalizations and stuff. So do you have any plans or things that you're doing to solve that?
Yeah, I mean, our team, we have a legal team, both on the team that are legal, and then we're also contracted. We have legal services that advise us. But essentially, countries that we're licensed in to operate in, we operate in. I believe we either are about to or just are able to legally operate in Estonia and Seychelles. Um, uh, Obviously, countries that are difficult, or I say difficult, but are hard on crypto regulation or very unclear about crypto regulation, like the United States or some Asian countries. As the legalities of it evolve, we will navigate that space. But essentially, anywhere we can operate currently, we are trying to operate. If there's ways where we can manage or apply, or there's just extra hoops to jump through, we're working on that constantly to where we can operate in the most spaces we're able to.
Yeah, if you're able to penetrate the legal side of things in the United States, I mean,
Yeah,
everywhere else is gonna be easier. I think United States has
exactly.
one of, if not the most strictest regulations in sort of cryptocurrency. And given that you're in the United States right now, I'm assuming, gives you an advantage to be legalized there.
Yeah, I mean, because of that, obviously the exchange isn't based out of the United States because that would make it impossible for the whole thing to run. It's based out of Dubai, but still, I mean, we're confident. I mean, you see how the world can change in just a few years, right?
Yeah,
So who
that's for
knows?
sure.
But again, it's all
To
about,
see what happens, like, yeah,
yeah,
in the crypto space, time goes by really fast. Like, even a year in this space, yeah, you have a lot of experience with that.
yeah. You just wake up every day, and all you can do is try to do the best thing with the options you have on that given day. So we do that every day.
Exactly. And oh yeah, I forgot to ask, how big of a team do you work with on this project?
Well, it seems like it's getting bigger every single day, especially lately. I
Oh,
think right now we're at 31 or 32. 5 of those are pure marketing. 12 of those are pure programmers. 5 of those are the core team members. But yeah, we're 31 or 32, I think now.
And we are in talks with people from the OK Exchange and Whitebit that will be moving over to our team full time soon.
damn, you definitely know your thing. Is this like your first project? Definitely not. I'm assuming.
Actually, like truly being in charge of a project. I mean, I've worked on the side on multiple things, but yeah, this is my first. I believe it's Luke's first, as at least in cryptocurrency. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is as well, as far as being the lead like this.
Correct.
Well, yeah, not to flatter you, but you're ticking the right boxes here. Like, seriously, you're doing things, everything right. And given that this is your first project, and your experiences are quite, in life experiences are quite outside crypto. I'm really curious on how you get to know what to do in terms of starting a project and developing it for like over a year without any development experiences, and
Yeah.
still nailing it so right. Like, that's really awesome, I'd say.
Well, like you said, I mean, you see, it's not just about what you see. I mean, me and Luke have seen really great projects fail for the most just absurd reasons, and you've seen horrible projects that have absolutely no function, no utility, do or raise, a ton of money and just drain communities of money. And it's just like you see these things and you take note of what's happening, why is it happening, and then on top of that, like, I mean, I don't know hardly anything about physical mining of anything. Luke knows a lot about that. I don't know anything really about, I mean, I don't have an MBA. I know general concepts, but there's a lot of things Luke knows that I don't know, and there's a lot of things I know that Luke doesn't know. They're both unrelated to cryptocurrency, but in the cryptocurrency space, when you meet so many people, there may be somebody who's just a wild coder, and he just can understand certain things or understand certain aspects, but he knows nothing about. He couldn't get on here and talk. He couldn't go market. He couldn't figure out how to talk to a group or orchestrate a business deal. But it's about the collaboration. So as long as everybody on the team understands what the goal is, if everybody is doing their part and you know what their part is, that's how you come into a collaboration where you're doing the right things, or at least trying to do the right things. And when something arises, because nobody can be perfect, you have a set of people with diverse backgrounds that can handle those issues and at least navigate how to overcome them.
Yeah, I think that's where Luke Skywalker's management experience comes into play in handling the teams and the people to get everything like set up and straight.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. Okay. I said it was my last question before the community question, but I forgot to ask about the NFT aspect of the project. So can you tell us more specific things about that?
Yeah. So, like I said, we almost certainly will have to develop our own blockchain to implement basically two things: to implement the interoperability, meaning uh, because obviously NFTs exist to a large deal already outside of our ecosystem, and there's multiple chains. There are already some options of making some interoperability between chains and NFTs, but because we want to do the interoperability of bringing in NFTs and being able to communicate with multiple chains, and we also want to implement our token into that in a very seamless manner, like in regards to the creating of the NFT, selling of the NFT, if the NFT will earn anything for you, how it will be tied to the ecosystem. Uh, we've decided that the easiest way with the coding potential that we have is to just make it exactly how we want it from the get-go. That way whenever we fully launch it, it's already the way we want it, rather than, so we probably will take something like an Ethereum fork, modify it to meet our needs, and then launch it with the NFT platform. That way from the beginning it's already basically feeding into our ecosystem and our tokenomics.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, you're gonna be launching your own NFT lines, or are you gonna get projects to launch within your NFT marketplace?
Both.
Oh, okay. So, is your I'm assuming that you're gonna first launch your own NFT line within your marketplace, or are you gonna focus first more on the other utility aspects of Rocket Global as a platform, and then you can just move over to the your own NFTs of other projects?
So we will first. So we have the NFT Creator Fund, which is part of our token distribution, specifically to support this endeavor. So it will begin with basically launching our own NFTs on our line, and then probably from there it will stem. Again, some of the stuff that isn't fully launched is going to be open to, we there may be changes to what we want to do. We may add something. We may probably add something, not remove something, but again, it may be part of token the community input. So depending on what the community wants at that point, we may launch in a certain way and say, well, we think it's a good idea if we make an NFT launchpad off of our current existing platform, and then see, how much of the community would support that, what it means for the token, how those fees would be incorporated for current NFT holders, what benefit it would be for our line of NFTs. There's so many questions around it, but yeah, I think uh, we can pretty confidently say that that NFT Creator Fund will be uh, creating that environment, creating our own line of NFTs that are minted on our blockchain, and then on after that, probably support people launching on our platform.
Okay, well, the NFT side of things is definitely one of the things I'm going to be looking forward to, and especially how it's going to look like and other utilities that you have in combined with your NFTs. But I'm sorry if I'm going to rush things, but I'm seeing a lot of raised hands right now, and I don't want to rogue the community of any more questions. So, you guys ready to answer some community questions right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so yeah, so people here in the VC, please just raise your hands up if you wanted to ask a question. And if you're not able to ask your question in the VC, you can ask it in the main chat. Again, priority goes to the people who ask in VC. Okay, we got our first question here from, okay, let's go with Jabenga. Jabenga, you're allowed to speak. Please ask your question.
Yes, yes, thanks for the opportunity, brother. To the Rocket Global developer, thanks for coming to our community. You have a great project. I just have a question with respect to the application and the use of the application. Is there anything you've put on place to teach the investors, even with different languages, how to make use of the best way in the application, how to navigate the application and some features on the application? Because I see the platform is gonna be a decentralized platform, and I've even tried to navigate through the platform and try to register, create a mail, stuff like that. I think you have a great stuff there. Are you looking up to this probably to prepare YouTube video to educate people on how to make use of your platform, stuff like that? And secondly, with respect to the utility, the NFC, you say you're gonna have your own marketplace, and your NFT can be sold at other marketplace. Then if that is the case, why holding this NFT? Do we have some reflection before I sell? Do we have some reflection? What are the things to benefit from holding your NFT? Probably we can buy coin at discount or stuff like that. What are you trying to integrate with your NFT? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for that question. And the first part is a very easy answer. The second part is not so easy, just because it's the aspects of the NFT can be they can go basically they can go several ways. But the first one, if I understood you correctly, you're basically saying, uh, uh, are we going to we have a great project, our exchange is live, it's functioning, and then we're going to have these implemented use cases on there. Are we going to have some kind of educational profile or YouTube like tutorials on how to use it, so that users, and in different languages, it sounded like you said, so that users can understand how to use it and kind of what are the benefits of using it? And yes, so I mean, we're very early. Once we our marketing and our YouTube kind of presence is going to differ from right now versus to after when we launch the coin. So right now we're promoting the token that will kind of be the lifeblood of Rocket Global. But once that's launched, it's going to be related towards how can you buy Rocket Global, and then what is Rocket Global? What are the different aspects of it? Um, on top of that, people in the community, we're actually launching. That's a good question to segue into that, but we're going to have something called the Rocket Global Academy, which is essentially going to be like an educational program for Rocket Global users, not just education on the platform, but education about cryptocurrency in general. But yes, we will have YouTube videos. We will have multilingual YouTube videos about what the exchange is and how to use it, and those will roll out, definitely. Your second question, which was about the NFT, what are the benefits to owning an NFT? The utilities and the different basically the different benefits that we could get from the NFT are going to be, they're essentially not set in stone yet. So there will be definitely benefits to owning an NFT. They might earn yield. They might earn you the core token. We already mentioned how the existence of them being paid for to be minted and traded is going to feed into burning the Rocket Global token. So it might be that a portion of trades will go towards paying holders of NFTs. I mean, there's a lot of ways that we can incorporate that. So that answer is not a clear cut answer, so I don't want to give you one, because it's open to interpretation both by us and the community on how we want to implement it. But two very good questions. I hope I answered them okay.
Okay, yeah, I think you did the very first one. You answered it perfectly. But the reason why I asked with respect to the NFTs, I think I've been to your platform. You're launching your pre-sales. You're gonna start in 3 days to this time, which is on the third. And after launching, these are the activities to keep the project elevating. These are the activities that the investors will see on the project and say, okay, well, I need to do this. I need to hold that. You understand? Then, if your NFT is not coming out in that platform, what of your token? The holders of your token, do they get reflection while holding your token? Because these are the activities that won't make people sell you the token on time. Why holding the token if I stand to benefit something?
Yeah,
And
so sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but now I sort of understand what you're saying. So the NFT marketplace is coming later. In our, if you look at our like map of what we're planning to do, it's coming later on our roadmap. But the token itself, so like you're saying, on the third, we're launching our token on the pre-sale to only whitelisters. Yeah, so one of the things I mentioned early on about DeFi staking, not only several months after we launch are we doing other token staking, but right from launch, we will have a DApp on our website where you can stake Rocket Global coin and earn yield. I wouldn't call them reflections, because you have to stake them, and then once the staking period ends, you will earn the interest based on the pool you're in. It will be up to 120 APY, so that doesn't sound like a lot to some of these random reflection tokens, but when you're actually dealing with a functional utility token, that's actually very high. The highest pool will be 120%, and that pool will have a very limited amount of spots. And only people who can use that pool are going to be whitelisted pre-sale buyers. So the pre-sale that we're having on the third, as you mentioned, there's it's whitelist only, and the whitelist only people are the only people who can try to get into the pool until it's full for the 20% APY.
Awesome, awesome. I think that is great. Thank you. Thank you, CH, for the opportunity, brother.
Always, Jabanga. Thank you so much. And let's go on to the next question. Wait a minute. Next question from. Okay, let's go from Kyle. Kyle, you're allowed to speak. Please ask your question. Okay, Kyle. Okay, I think Kyle is not able to speak, so let's choose another one. Okay, let's go with SpongeBob. You're allowed to speak, SpongeBob.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. We have some feedback.
Okay. Sorry. I hope I'm audible now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can hear you.
Thanks. So, first of all, before I proceed, I must recommend your presentation. That was a very great one. So, I'll go straight to my brief question. So, I would like to know what are your plans to increase holders and increase attraction, and do you have any NFTs integration into this your platform? And also, lastly, I would like to know what are your unique investment opportunity that this smart and sweet project offers? Do you get the question?
Okay, yeah. So, like I said, the NFT marketplace is a ways off. It's in 2023, so there's none that are implemented right now. As far as your first question, how are we gonna get more users? So, part of that OKX and Whitebit transitioning to our team, and on top of the current marketing team we have, our goal that we're currently setting, which is a pretty big goal, is to have 500,000 users within 3 months of the launch. So as we have users, people will understand our native token. And again, when this token will go into the tokenomics of how it's trading on Pancake, but it will have fees on trading, probably until we get listed on a centralized exchange, which we will. It either will or will not have the taxes based on the centralized exchange we choose to put it on. But the 5% buy and sell tax will be used to burn the token and support the ecosystem. But yeah, we have a very large plan to have over 500,000 users within 3 months of launch.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the great answer. That's really answered my question. So thanks, bro. Nice project. Keep it up.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much for your question, SpongeBob. Okay, I guess we can go for like another more question. Let's go for okay, Venice. You're allowed to speak. Venice, please ask your question.
Hello guys, how you doing?
We're doing good.
Yeah, okay. First of all, thanks for the great opportunity, and I do commend you guys for the great presentation. Hope I'm audible.
Yeah, I can hear you great.
Okay, thanks, bro. So my question is based on the NFTs. Yeah, you all know that NFT faces a lot of problems, such as digital management rights and guaranteed storage. So I'd like to know, how do you plan to how you plan to address these challenges, and also what solution will you provide for users which can be able which can enable them to easily perform NFTs authenticity verification.
Well, I mean, our
Data
NF,
persistence and the best NFT.
yeah,
Okay, can you now? Can you now?
yeah. Sorry, you cut out a little bit, but yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
when we have
Can I come again?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, NFTs faces critical, such as digital management rights, guaranteed storage. So I'd like to know, how will your project be able to address these challenges? Like, how do you plan to address these challenges? And what solution will you provide for users which can enable them to easily perform NFTs authenticity verification, data persistence, and the best NFT market?
Yeah, well, so I mean, those are challenges that exist for the NFT space. Anytime you're making something that's non-fungible on any blockchain, it's going to have a specific address that you can verify. So obviously, like we mentioned, we will be making our own blockchain. So when we mint NFTs or transition them onto the blockchain, whenever they're on our blockchain, they will also have their own unique ID. So it would probably be very easy once the blockchain is incorporated, if you have an NFT, to check the contract address of the NFT, submit it, and then it will authenticate saying yes, this exists in this project, or whatever, however it is that you're trying to check it. That doesn't seem like it would be too difficult of a thing. Again, as far as the storage, if we're making our own blockchain, I mean, I don't see us having an issue with storage. The verification seems like it could be easily handled. Always the verification and like, I guess, authenticity of NFTs typically arises the issue with the user. It's not so much with the ability to verify if it's real. It's with a bad actor or somebody trying to pretend like it's legitimate. So yeah, we will have things in place to have like verified collections, kind of like OpenSea does. I'm sure we will. Again, we will take the best of the things we see and then try to improve on them and then make them easier to use. So again, that's in the future. So without it existing and us going to it and showing you, it would be hard for me to answer your question specifically. But broadly speaking, I think we will be able to address all those things. In particular, because we have our own blockchain, so we can dictate kind of how and in which way we would legitimize those NFTs if people wanted to check them. But yeah, good question.
Okay, thank you so much for your question. Okay, I guess we can go through one last question before we wrap things up because time is flying. And yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Last question. Thank you so much for your question once again. And last question. Let's go for okay. I'm gonna give Kyle one last chance to ask his question. Kyle, please ask your question.
Are you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Please ask your question.
Okay. So actually, my question is, the NFT space has continued to increase in tremendous size, and unfortunately, NFT holders wouldn't earn passive income through NFTs, and this has remained a major pain point, which needs to be addressed. How does your project intend to solve this?
I didn't hear the first part.
Come again?
The first part of your question, what was the issue? You were saying, how do we handle it?
Okay. I was saying, NFTs holder would earn passive income through their NFTs. So my question is, how do you address the issue? You got the question?
Okay, so you're saying, how are we going to implement passive income through NFTs?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure that's going to be one of our prime models. We might have a line of NFTs that are tied specifically to Rocket Global Token, where it benefits the ecosystem and the holder of the NFT. I kind of mentioned that before, but I mean, as far as earning yield on an NFT, the options are kind of open to us. I mean, again, regulation wise, you're still facing all the same things you would otherwise. But with us having our own ecosystem and not operating out of a restricted area, we're kind of free to do that however we'd like. Again, that part of that's going to be up to the community and how they'd like it. We will come up with the ideas and the utilities around the NFTs that we think as a team will benefit everyone. And then we'll probably have it set to a vote to say, well, we're planning on launching this line, and the tokenomics, if you can call it that, of the NFT are going to work like this, and then we'll have a vote. But yeah, I think we will definitely probably have some kind of yield earning aspect to at least some of the NFTs that are on our platform, for sure.
But actually, we'll be implementing staking on.
Kyle, are you gonna ask another question because you might need to cut that off because we're working on limited time. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay, but
Kyle.
thank you so much for your question, Kyle. Yeah.
But thank you for the question.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess to wrap things up, yeah. So can you give us a short summary or description and why people should be investing in Rocket Global? And also, can you give us details about the pre-sale and launch dates, and yeah, the maximum contribution, those kind of stuff?
Yeah, so I'll start with just giving you the reason why I think it's a good investment. Again, everybody, everything is an investment. Everything is open to risk, but that's probably what people were wondering when they heard about BNB when they were launching their own smart chain. Ethereum. Whenever they were talking about putting contracts instead of just being a store of value, everything kind of sounds ridiculous when it doesn't exist, and I don't think anything we're doing is ridiculous. And we're starting at a very our pre-sale is just going to be 1500 BNB hard cap. So you're investing in a token that's going to be the lifeblood of our entire ecosystem that we plan to grow out. We're not selling some rebase token where we're just trying to raise a bunch of capital and not really know what to do with it, and then people end up selling because they don't know what's going on. We're selling a token that's going to be utilized, and the longevity of it is part of the project. We don't want it to, just randomly go out of nowhere and then it's all gone. We want it to be a supporting part of our ecosystem, and we want our ecosystem to support it. We want people to own it, to be part of our communities. So I think that any of you listening, you should think of this as an opportunity, as this may be a very early way to get in on a very big vision that we hope to successfully see through. Hopefully, you guys have gotten that from our explanations and questions. I mean, we will have more AMAs, and we have a very highly functional Telegram and Discord, so we answer stuff on there all the time. We have competitions. As far as the pre-sale goes, that is happening on May 3rd at 5 p.m. UTC. It is through Pink Sale. The link will be posted shortly, I believe tomorrow. I don't know if we decided on exact time before launch date that we're going to post that link, but it's a 1500 BNB hard cap, and it's to whitelisters only. We have 700 total spots. We're just getting pressed by so many of these groups to have whitelist competitions and to give them whitelists because so many people are requesting it. We're really trying to not to increase it because it's only 1500 BNB. The minimum buy is 0.2 and the maximum buy is 5. So we kind of went through the math on it and thought that that's the best ratio. And if we increase the whitelist, it kind of messes with that ratio. But if we have to get more people involved, we may. But yeah, so 1500 hard cap is at 5 p.m. UTC. Everybody write that down. May 3rd, 5 p.m. UTC. Whenever it sells out, 3 hours later, it will go live on PancakeSwap. If for some reason it does not sell out, which I doubt that will happen, but if it does not sell out, we have a 24-hour timer. And when that 24-hour runs out, 3 hours later, that liquidity will move over to PancakeSwap. So it's all done through Pink Sale. I'm sure you guys are familiar with them, but we're KYC through them. We're also KYC through Obsidian Council. We have the smart contract of the token audited with Analytic and with Solidity. And after launch, we're going to do it with Certic. But yeah, go to our, I believe, did anybody give you whitelist spots for this, CH?
Yeah, we're gonna be handling that later for the best
Okay.
questions, but
I just wanted to
after the
make
AMA.
sure. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
no worries,
Okay.
man. We got that. I'm sure a lot of our community here are wanting to have a whitelist, so we're gonna do that
Yes.
accordingly. Yeah.
Yeah, so try to partake in that, guys, but also I think we still have maybe, I don't know if they're full yet. I think we still have some on our Discord. There's a section that says how to get a whitelist. So just go to our Discord and you can try to get a whitelist that way and secure one. But yeah, I think that covers our sale.
Yeah, and once again, it's been amazing having you here for AMA. I mean, I really love the project, and I'll personally look into the developments of the project
Thank you.
itself. I really love the combination, your aspect of like combining the decentralized and centralized as a whole, which makes it a lot more safer to invest in these centralized projects. Although you're leaning towards first, like on the centralized aspect of things, and knowing that you have a good, I think, as you've said, a sure chance to get into an exchange is a bullish sign as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, nothing in this universe is certain, but we will be on an exchange.
Oh, yeah. I think that's convincing enough for me. Okay, with
All
that
right.
being said, that's all for me. Thank you so much again for choosing Phoenix Holdings. So wish you an AMA, and I wish you the best of luck in your project. And thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in another AMA here at Phoenix Holdings. So good night or good day, everyone.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
guys.
CH. Appreciate you having us.
Thanks.
Appreciate you guys as well. Okay, goodbye.